Welcome back to Wednesday, and it's Ask Lee again. Alright, just if you'd like to, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. And if a particular video helps you in any way, you can always leave a super thanks to support the channel, and that would be fantastic. Thanks. And if you have any questions that you would like answered on this specific slot, then leave them in the comments below to this video, and I'll add them into a future one. Alright, so let's get straight into it. Solemn Sun asked, when working approaching the Goetia for the first time, how necessary is it to perform the rituals, such as Solomonic Circle, etc., when you feel you are being called to a particular demon? Could the demon already be there, working with you or influencing your work before you have done these preliminary rituals? Alright, so first of all, I would definitely not recommend the Solomonic rituals, the circle, and etc., etc., etc. They have a very bad history that's tied to them. I know some people have attempted to alter them in a way which is more respectful, and they've been quite successful, but overall I just wouldn't recommend them. As I said, the history that's tied to them is very bad. It was used to bind, trap, enslave, threaten these spirits, and these spirits they're not young, they are pretty damn old, and you don't want to start out with a practice where you are threatening spirits. It's not going to end well. They are not going to be very happy with the whole process, and they're not going to be happy with you. So that's the first thing. I wouldn't go with the Solomonic rituals at all. Now, when you do first approach the Goetia and any of these spirits from these grimoires, you can cast a protective circle. The only reason you would really do that is for your own sake, if you go into a ritual and you are afraid, you're going to instill that fear into the spirit that you're calling, and therefore you are going to see, you're basically going to get what you feel or what you think you're going to get. So if you go into a ritual to call a demon to you and you are afraid and you think it's going to be this monstrous thing, that's what's going to come through. It's your own psyche, your own psychology, your own thinking, your own emotions and feelings, and the energy that you're actually putting out. So if you feel that a protective circle is going to make you feel safe, then do that. It's not necessary, but at the same time, as I said, if it makes you feel safe, then do it. As you become more accustomed to the spirits and you get to know them and the relationship grows, then you'll come to a point where you understand that you don't actually need it. Now, there are certain situations where you may want to cast an elemental circle, for instance, to just balance the elements in the space you're working. You may want to cast a circle which is protective in mana, which contains energy. You may also want to have a look at working with the triangle. In the grimoire itself, it talks about the triangle of art, and it's often understood as something which is trapping the spirit. However, there's a different viewpoint to this. A triangle focuses and concentrates energy. The triangle is a geometric shape of manifestation, and so you can use the triangle to actually focus the energy of that spirit. You're not using it to trap or bind the spirit, you're using it to actually pull the energy in to a certain point and focus that energy so that you can start working on theophany and things like that, and actually getting the spirit to, you know, if you want to talk to the spirit, this is a good way to do it. But, you know, those things you can add later. To begin with, what you really want to do is just bring the energy of that spirit into the space and interact with that energy itself, get to know the energy, get to know how it feels, and get to understand it and build a relationship, because that's what you really want to do, is build a relationship with particular spirits. And once you've built that relationship, you don't need those circles and all those things. You can just sit down and talk to the spirit. But as I said, depending on what work you're actually wanting to do, what ritual you're wanting to do, you can implement these tools in order to enhance your experience. So the second part of that question, let me just read that again. Could the demon already be there working with you, influencing your work before you have done those preliminary rituals? Yes, absolutely. A lot of people find that there's a spirit which has gained a particular liking to them. There could be a variety of reasons. It could be a bloodline. It could be you have had a teacher who has a particular relationship with a spirit, and that spirit has moved on to you. So it could be ancestrally based reasons. It could just be the spirit. It could be something in your energy which the spirit is attracted to and connected to. Lots of reasons why this would happen, but some people do find that they start working with magic, and they start working with witchcraft and demonolatry and everything, and they find that a particular spirit, as they keep on working with it, the awareness of it becomes more and more apparent, and they realize that the spirit has been hanging around. There's been moments throughout their childhood and things like that where something's been there, but they couldn't quite identify it. As they learn more, they realize that this spirit has been around. And it could be a spirit from the Goetia, it could be a god or goddess, it could be, any of the divine intelligences. So yes, absolutely, that can happen. Long before you even realize what it is or learn about these things. Often they just pop up throughout your life. They've always been around. All right, I think that answers that one. And then a quick question from Infinite Dragon God. Are demons a race or title? Depending on how you view it, both. All right. So demon is, in a broad sense, is a title. It is a divine intelligence. It is a tutelary spirit. However, and not everybody's going to agree with this, some people consider the Goetia spirits to be archetypes. Some people consider them to be ancient gods from ancient times. But in some cases, some people suggest, and just one of my beliefs as well, that the Goetia spirits specifically are jinn, which would mean that they are a race of spirits. They are fire spirits from the desert who were created before humankind. So they were created from fire, and humans were created from earth. So they were around before humans, and they are a race of beings. Now, if you go through the Goetia, there are certain names, Baal, Astaroth, spirits that do get connected with more older, ancient gods and goddesses. So there is some difficulty in interpretation and overlap here. So it may require some more study and some personal interpretation. I've had communication with Boone, for instance, who told me that she is Hecate. Nobody else seems to think that. I did discover one person who possibly thought the same thing, but unfortunately the video had been taken down, so I couldn't find out what their experience was. So it can get a bit difficult to figure out. It's quite possible that some of the Goetia spirits are Jinn and others are not. But they often come from a similar region. But when we talk about demon, generally it's a title for divine intelligence. In demonolatry, we just happen to work with a particular pantheon or a particular set of spirits, whether they are gods and goddesses, whether they are angelic forces, or whether they are Jinn. The word demon in this case envelops this set of spirits that we work with. So, we talk about the demons, and we have Lucifer, Azazel, such beings, and the Grigori, the fallen angels, and things like that. They are angelic forces. And then we get the Goetia, which are the more earthbound forces. They are the Jinn, the fire spirits. So, yes, we can say that they are a race, but that's not demon itself. That's speaking specifically about one particular set of demonic forces. Whether that set is angelic, which I think we can consider as being a race. I think some people do. Whether they are the Goetia spirits and therefore Jinn, whether you're working with the Jinn specifically, these are races. But when we talk about demon, it's a broad term which encompasses all of them. All right, and if we take it even broader, as I said, demon is tutelary spirit. It's in demonolatry we consider them to be the divine intelligences. And when we talk about divine intelligences, we're talking about all of them. There is no boundary there. As I said, it's just that we happen to and feel happy working with a particular set of spirits. Alright, I think that covers it all. And I'll see you tomorrow then. Have a good one. Cheers for now.